Howdy ho, Andrew, aka Kelpier here. Welcome to the Onion Buns and welcome to another episode of Hilarious Gaming Stories. So I lied. You can sue me. I got a message from an old guildmate who gave me a DAoC story of his. So we're going to throw this out here and then I'll move on from DAoC. So this comes from Devan, old guildmate of mine in DAoC. The first time I went into the frontiers with Core, that was the guild I ran, Champions of the Realm, I was level 30 or something like that. We went to defend a keep we owned, and as we ran up to it, I lagged out because the Zerg mids were attacking. It was basically a slideshow for me. And all I remember was a massive troll in front of me when it was gone. The guild got wiped and I finally stopped lagging and just hid behind a tree. Core was done for the night after that, except they made a rescue mission to come get me because I had no idea where to go. So I actually do remember this. I was the guild master of the guild, but I remember this story. I remember this happening because I was one of the people that went to rescue him. And he says it was Midgard, but I'm pretty sure this was in the Albion lands. And Midgard we owned a keep in the Albion lands, and it was by the Hadron's Wall ruins. And I forget the name of the castle we had claimed there. So I'm not really sure about the troll, but I do remember this because, I remember having to go out there as Kelfier and rescue him. And he was, so you had the castle here, and there was this big hill up to the castle, and you could go like 3/4 of the way around the castle. This side was all blocked off, but you could go up this way. And Devan had run up, he'd got to the back, and he'd gone up the hill and hid behind a tree. And he was just sitting there going, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? As, I believe the mids had taken over the keep from us because, the lag was horrendous. When you were dealing with the Zerg out there, even the best latency could get bogged down. This is in an earlier video. I had said when you do a relic keep, you had to turn all the effects off, because once you got 200 people in your screen, it was just like, it didn't matter. It's like, didn't matter what your latency was, you were going to lag. And, and I had high speed internet at the time. So, I know some of the people played with, still hooked up to modems, different speeded modems. So, they were going to experience lag. And I think that's what happened to him is he got out there and then all this Zerg came in and he couldn't move. So he just found his way to this tree and hid behind the tree. And he must have been out there for a good 50 minutes to an hour. He says 30 minutes. I think it was longer because I remember, because we got wiped out and that sent us all back to the start. And then I had to make my way with Mal and his other friend Val, and we had to make our way through, and with only 3 of us, we can't take on the Zerg. So we have to be really sneaky and make it there, get a hold of him, lead him out, and get him close enough so that he dies. He's zoomed back to the gate. I'm trying to remember how DAoC handled binding. I don't remember. I think when you died, you got sent back to your last bind. So if you binded in a bad spot, that's where you got sent. And that didn't always help you. And I think that's what happened with Devan is he was not bound in a spot that allowed him to get back to the safe lands of Albion. So he was kind of in a death loop and he needed the help. So yeah, when I read this story, I got a good chuckle because I actually do remember doing this rescue mission. But that was part of the charm of the game. It really was. It's like, when you're out in the PvP lands and you do die, it shouldn't be simple. Like you don't want to be you don't want to instantly pop up where you died, because then you start getting, they just kill you over and over and over. And yeah. Oh, I remember what it was now. If you died in PvP, it sent you to the nearest keep that you owned, that your realm owned. So Devan, being the first time in the frontiers, he had absolutely no clue where he was going. So dying in PvP did him no good. If you died in PvE, it sent you to the safe lands. That's how it worked. Because I remember from that actual keep, when we were getting overrun, I didn't want to go back to a tower or a keep near there. So I actually jumped off the edge of the keep and died falling. I mean, you did damage to your equipment when you did that, whereas you took no damage when you died in PvP, but it sent you all the way back to the safe realm, the safe lands. And, being a master crafter, armor and weapons, I wasn't really worried about the condition of my armor because I could fix it like that. I was self-sufficient that way. But yeah, it was his first time in the frontier, so he wouldn't have known this. And honestly, if there was no way for him to die to something, because there was all these Midgards there. So yeah, it's a funny story. But like I said, that was part of the charm of DAoC, is you had to figure out these little quirks. And, you had to figure it out and you had to work around it. And so, yeah. But like I said, we had a great guild. And yeah, we just got together and ran out there and saved the newbie. Because that's what you do. You save the newbies, you train them, you show them the ropes, and then they get to pay it forward. And, in my opinion, that's how a guild functions, or it should function. And just my opinion of the matter is, I've been in a lot of guilds since then where, yeah, you die somewhere, they're not coming to help you. And those guilds sucked. I never want to be in one of those guilds. I want to be in a guild where if you really need help, all you got to do is ask and somebody's going to come and help you, and vice versa. Like, if I'm in the position, I'm going to run and help every single time if I'm capable. So yeah, fun little story there. I had completely forgot about that. So anyway, that's my video for today. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, a subscribe, and a share. I'm trying to grow my channel, and a like, a subscribe, and a share does me wonders, and I do appreciate it. I really do. It takes 1 second to subscribe. Just hit that link below, and you're subscribed. It helps me immensely. You really don't understand how much it really does help me. Always feel free to leave a comment. I encourage everybody to leave a comment. Not only does it get us interacting, but it really does help with the YouTube algorithm and getting more eyes on my videos. And as always, pew, 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 and shit. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.